Ever wondered how typography impacts the effectiveness of your graphic design? Well, it's more than just choosing a font and hitting the publish button. Typography is a crucial aspect of graphic design. It's the art and technique of arranging type to make written language not only readable but visually appealing, captivating, and memorable. Picture this: a beautifully illustrated poster, but the text is barely readable. Or a minimalist website where the text is so small it's like trying to read fine print without a magnifying glass. Both scenarios highlight the importance of typography in graphic design. It's about creating a balance between the visual and the verbal, the form and the function. Typography is the voice of your design. It communicates your message, sets the tone, and can evoke emotions. It's like the music score in a movie, subtly guiding the audience's feelings and reactions. The right typography enhances the content, making it more digestible and engaging. It's not just about what you say but how you present it. But typography isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a complex field with a myriad of choices and considerations. From typeface selection, creating hierarchy, adjusting letter spacing, to applying formatting and effects, there's a lot to master in the world of typography. And that's what this chapter is all about. We'll delve into the principles and techniques of typography, providing you with a solid foundation. We'll explore different typefaces, learn about hierarchy and typography systems, discuss kerning, leading, and tracking, and discover ways to enhance your text with formatting and effects. But don't worry, we're not just throwing theory at you. We'll also share practical tips, best practices, and inspiring examples of typography in different design contexts. By the end of this chapter, we hope to equip you with the knowledge and skills to create effective and visually pleasing designs. So, are you ready to master the art of typography? Great, let's get started. With a solid understanding of typography, you can create designs that are not only visually pleasing but also effective in conveying your message. The first step in mastering typography is understanding and choosing the right typeface. Dive into the world of typefaces, a realm teeming with variety and nuance. Each typeface, like a unique character, has its own personality, tone, and purpose. From the professional and reliable serif, the clean and modern sans serif, to the elegant and expressive script, the playful display, and the quirky decorative fonts, each typeface category has its distinct role to play in the grand theater of graphic design. Let's start with serif typefaces. You know, the ones with the little feet or strokes at the end of their letters? These typefaces, like Times New Roman or Georgia, are often seen as traditional, respectable, and reliable. They're great for printed materials, especially for large blocks of text, as the serifs guide the reader's eye along the lines. On the other side of the spectrum, we have sans serif typefaces. Sans meaning without in French, these typefaces, such as Arial or Helvetica, do not have the little feet or strokes. They're seen as clean, modern, and versatile. Sans serifs work exceptionally well in digital design due to their crisp and clear readability on screens. Next up, we have script typefaces. These fonts emulate handwriting and calligraphy, adding a touch of elegance and personal charm to your designs, yet they should be used sparingly, mainly for headlines or accents, as they can be challenging to read in large blocks of text. Display and decorative typefaces are the rebels of the typeface family. They're bold, quirky, and unapologetically unique. They can add a strong visual impact to your design. However, their flamboyant nature means they're best suited for headlines, logos, or short text, where their distinct personality can shine without overwhelming the design. Pairing typefaces can be a delicate art. It's about finding balance and harmony, much like a well-composed symphony. A common approach is to pair a serif with a sans serif, or a script with a simple sans serif, creating a balance between the font's personalities. Choosing the right typeface sets the tone for your design and helps convey the intended message effectively. So, next time you're embarking on a design journey, remember, the right typeface is your trusty compass guiding you towards a successful design destination. Creating a hierarchy within your typography is a key technique in guiding the reader's eye. Diving right in, typographic hierarchy is an essential system that organizes type, providing a roadmap for readers. It helps to communicate information effectively by guiding the reader's eye through the layout and content. Think of it as the GPS of your design, leading your audience from point A to point B and all the way to point Z in a logical and pleasing manner. So how can we achieve a clear visual hierarchy? Well, there are several techniques to employ. The first is through using headlines, subheadings, body text, and captions. Headlines are like the big, bold signboards that grab a reader's attention. They're usually the largest text in your design and should be compelling enough to draw readers in. Subheadings, on the other hand, are the stepping stones that lead from one idea to the next, breaking up content into digestible sections. Body text is where the meat of your content lies. It's usually smaller than your headlines and subheadings, but it should still be legible and easy to read. Lastly, captions provide additional or explanatory information about images or graphics in your design. But typography hierarchy doesn't stop there. It's also about boldness and thickness of fonts, their styles, effects, and contrasts. For instance, a bold font can be used to emphasize a point, while a thin font might be used for less important details. Beyond hierarchy, there's also the concept of typographic systems. These are sets of standards and rules that help maintain consistency throughout your design. They can include guidelines on font types, sizes, line heights, and even letter spacing. By adhering to a typographic system, you ensure that your design remains balanced and harmonious, no matter how much content you're working with. In essence, a well-established typographic hierarchy and system aren't just about making your design look good. They're about enhancing the overall user experience, ensuring your design isn't just visually pleasing but also intuitively navigable. A well-established typographic hierarchy guides your audience through your design, ensuring your message is communicated effectively. The way you space your text matters. Let's talk about kerning, leading, and tracking. In the world of typography, these three elements play pivotal roles in how your text is perceived and understood. Let's start with kerning. Kerning is all about the space between individual letters. Ever noticed how some letters, when placed together, can look too close or too far apart? That's where kerning comes in. By manually adjusting the space between certain letter pairs, you can enhance the visual harmony and legibility of your text. It's like a delicate dance where each letter moves just enough to maintain the rhythm of the sentence. Next up, we have leading. Leading refers to the vertical space between lines of text. This can dramatically impact the readability and overall feel of a block of text. Too little leading, and your text can feel cramped, making it hard to distinguish one line from the next. Too much, and your lines may feel disconnected. The trick is to find that sweet spot where your lines of text have enough breathing room without losing their cohesion. Last but definitely not least, we have tracking. Tracking is the uniform adjustment of space across a group of letters or an entire block of text. Unlike kerning, which is more focused, tracking affects the overall character density. If your text feels too tight or too loose, adjusting the tracking could be the solution. Remember though, moderation is key. Overdoing it can lead to text that's either too spread out or too squashed together. So, how do you adjust these elements effectively? It's a mix of rules and intuition. While there are general guidelines, such as increasing the leading with larger font sizes, the final decision often comes down to your aesthetic judgment. The goal is to create text that's not only easy to read but also visually balanced and pleasing to the eye. In the end, kerning, leading, and tracking are more than just technical terms. They're tools in your designer's kit, helping you to craft typography that communicates effectively and resonantly. Proper spacing in your typography can significantly enhance its legibility and overall aesthetics. Adding visual interest to your typography can be achieved through various formatting options and effects. These can be as simple as bolding, italicizing, underlining, or striking through your text. Each of these techniques serves a unique purpose. Bolding, for instance, can emphasize important information or create a visual hierarchy, while italics can be used to denote titles, foreign words, or to convey a different tone or mood. Strike-throughs can be utilized to indicate changes or corrections, and underlining can highlight key points or links in a digital format. Now let's not forget about small caps and drop caps. Small caps can be used for stylistic consistency when mixing uppercase and lowercase letters, while drop caps can add a classic decorative touch to start off a paragraph or section. Next up is letter spacing, also known as tracking. Adjusting the space between your letters can improve readability, create emphasis, or achieve a specific visual effect. But remember, it's a delicate balance. Too much or too little spacing can make your text difficult to read. Line breaks are another important aspect of type formatting. They help structure your text into manageable, readable chunks. Whether it's a poem, a quote, or a block of text, line breaks can enhance the readability and flow of your content. Alignment, on the other hand, dictates the layout of your text. Whether your text is aligned to the left, right, centered, or justified, each option creates a different visual structure and can dramatically affect the overall appearance of your design. Finally, while typographic effects can add flair to your design, they should be used sparingly and purposefully. Overuse can lead to a cluttered and confusing design, so always consider the purpose and the message of your text before applying any effects. By mastering type formatting and effects, you can enhance the visual interest of your design and captivate your audience. It's all about finding the right balance between style and readability to communicate your message effectively.